So the next step after your model has been prepared and the the volumetric fill within the spaces has been customized, we can specify the location of the project, and to do that, under Analyze, click on Location, and this panel is going to appear. Now by default, Canberra is going to be selected, but you guys can change that. So if I type in Sydney, I can set that to Sydney. Click on search, and you see Revit automatically is gonna associate a particular weather station. Now the location is important because then you get to use the exact temperatures that are collected from a weather station next to that city that you specify. Again, this will be displayed under these temperature settings for each of the months in a year. And in this tab, if you had a specific site defined for your project, you can associate that so that you can use it for the orientation and the positioning of the project. So it's not selecting Sydney. What we can do is maybe New South Wales, City of Sydney, exactly. So we select that, and as you see, this has been selected, so click on OK. Alright, next we'll have a look at the settings. So click on Energy Settings, and the first thing is that the mode, make sure that you use the building elements and not conceptual masses, because our project is actually composed of building elements and not masses, so we use building elements. The ground plane, usually 99% of the cases it's ground floor. Now the project phase, you gotta make sure that it's consistent with what you have for the building elements. So if I click on my walls, gotta make sure that phase, new construction, matches with the phase under these settings. If you click on, let me change that to building elements. If you click on other options, edit, this gives you the opportunity to define the building type. So in our case, maybe if I go in multifamily, what other options can I select? Yeah, so if I go in multifamily, the operating schedule I can also define. So it's a 24/7 facility, depending on the project type, of course. You also have the option of selecting your HVAC system, so your heat and ventilation and air conditioning system. There's a lot of options to select from, so I'll just leave it as default. The outdoor air information, if you click on edit, you can define the outdoor air per person, and then you can also specify the outdoor air per area and the air changes per hour. So these are settings that you can play around with. Again, export, it's always of course rooms and not spaces, because this is how we sort of define our these spaces in our project. So it was based on rooms. And then if you had conceptual masses, so if you click on conceptual types, for the mass exterior wall, you can select a particular construction method, and it's again the same for all these different elements. That's in the case of masses, but since we have building elements, it's not applicable in our case. Okay, so once you're happy with all these settings, click on OK. Now in the next video I'll show you how to generate how to run your energy analysis and how to generate results.